Jannik Sinner has won the Australian Open. In this video, we will go over Jannik's meteoric rise in the 2023 ATP season. Jannik didn't have a great finish to the 2022 season, losing to Weisler in Paris and finishing with a year-end ranking of 15. A couple months later, he would begin his 2023 season playing in the Adelaide International 250 tournament. He was the 6th seed, but suffered a 5-7, 1-6 loss to Korda in the quarterfinals. Despite Korda being in good form, Jannik still didn't play great. He would have to up his level if he wanted to have a good run in the Australian Open. He was seeded 15th, and won 3 rounds, including a 5-set win against Fucsovics. He would lose to 3rd-seeded Tsitsipas, who eventually made the final, in 5 sets. This would drop his ranking down to 17 in the rankings, as he made the quarterfinals in the previous year. However, he quickly bounced back, winning a 250 title in Montpellier. He then made the final of Rotterdam, a 500-leveled tournament, where he lost to Medvedev in the final. This would boost his confidence for the Sunshine Double. At Indian Wells, he made the semi-finals as the 11th seed, including a win over defending champion Fritz. He had an even better tournament in Miami the next week, making the final. He beat in form Alcaraz and Rublev. Jannik later said he tried to make his game less predictable. He continued this form into the clay season, making the semi-finals of the Monte Carlo Masters 1000, boosting his ranking to 8 in the world. However, the rest of his clay season wasn't as impressive. He withdrew from Barcelona and Madrid due to an illness, lost to Cerundolo in Rome, and suffered a second-round loss in the French Open against Altmaier. He also had a bad start in the grass season, Ruusuvuori in straight sets in Bosch. He then retired against Bublik and Halle due to a thigh injury. He was worried as Wimbledon was his next tournament. He managed to make the semi-finals at Wimbledon, before losing to Djokovic. Despite not playing any top players before Djokovic, it was still a great run for him. Now the grass season was over, so he would head back to his favorite surface, hard courts. He didn't play any warm-up tournaments for the upcoming Masters 1000 in Toronto. He ended up winning the whole tournament, capturing his first Masters 1000 title. He suffered a first-round loss to Lajovic in the Cincinnati Masters, but was still confident for the US Open. He didn't have a great run for his standards, where he lost in 5 sets to Zverev. Sinner was battling cramps throughout the whole match. Despite his whole season being very impressive up until now, his real breakthrough happened later. After a good month of rest after the US Open, Jannik won the Beijing ATP 500 tournament, getting wins over 1-seed Alcaraz and 2-seed Medvedev. This boosted his ranking to 4 in the world. He then lost a tough 3-setter to an in-form Shelton in the Shanghai Masters. He quickly bounced back, winning the Vienna Open, where he beat Medvedev in the final.
Beautiful brutality.
He unfortunately had to withdraw from his second round in the Paris Masters because his first-round match finished at 3 a.m. and he would have to play later the same day. To close out the year, Jannik would play in the Nitto ATP Finals, where the top 8 players compete in a round-robin formatted event. He won all 3 of his group stage matches, with wins over Tsitsipas, Djokovic, and Rune. These wins qualified him for the semi-finals of the event, where he beat Medvedev, advancing him to the final. He would play Djokovic, and Djokovic got his revenge, winning in straight sets. This was still a great tournament for Jannik.
It is another.
He would finish the year ranked number 4, and fast forward a few months, he won the Australian Open. Jannik's meteoric rise has been incredible, and he isn't stopping anytime soon.